On today's video, we will be discussing angiosperms. They are flowering, fruit-bearing plants or trees known for having ovules, and therefore seeds developed within an enclosed ovary. They belong to the kingdom Plantae and are widely known as flowering plants. Angiosperms are vascular plants that have evolved specialized cells and tissues that carry out these functions and have further evolved specialized vascular tissues, xylem and phloem, that translocate the water and nutrients to all areas of the plant body. Roots, stems, and leaves are primary organs that constitute the vegetative or non-reproductive plant body. Let's look into the generic structure of an angiosperm, keeping in mind that not all angiosperms look like this. Many don't have petals or only have a male or female reproductive organ. So the anther and filament make up the stamen. This is the male reproductive organ. Now, the stigma, style, and ovary form the carpel, the female reproductive organ. The way angiosperms are structured prevents self-fertilization while increasing the odds of fertilizing another flower of the same or of different plants. This helps increase genetic variability. In order to understand how these flowers reproduce, we will look into the male reproductive system first. Inside the anther, you have a diploid cell, also known as a microspore mother cell, which undergoes meiosis to form 4 haploid cells, known as microspores. Through mitosis, these cells will become pollen grains. Inside a pollen grain, there are 2 cells, a tube cell, which makes a tube to the ovary so that the sperm can fertilize the eggs, and a generative cell, and as the name suggests it, generates sperm cells.
Moving on to the female reproductive organs. The ovaries contain ovules, and inside an ovule you find a megaspore mother cells, which are diploid cells. These cells undergo meiosis to form 4 haploid mother cells. Although 4 are produced, only 1 will be used. The others will become disintegrated. The 1 cell will undergo mitosis 3 times, producing 8 haploid nuclei, but only 7 cells. One of the diploid cells is an egg. The others will disintegrate. And the cell with a 2N is called an endosperm mother cell.
Now, we will observe the male and female organs as they are ready to reproduce sexually.
The pollen must find its way into the ovaries. Both wind and water play a role in transporting the pollen into the stigma. A lot of times, the plants will get pollinated by biotic vectors, such as bees and other insects. These insects get attracted by the plant's nectar, fragrance, and colorful petals. So pretty much, the plant is seducing the insects in order to get pollinated. After pollination, we have fertilization. The pollen grain will land on the stigma and the tube cell will create a tube to the ovaries in order for the sperm to travel down. The sperm will then fertilize the egg, forming a zygote, and then fertilize the endosperm mother cell, which will be a source of energy and nutrients for the embryo in the seed. Since 2 things get fertilized in this step, it is called double fertilization.
When the embryo matures and the ovule becomes detached from the wall of the ovary, its overcoat thickens into a seed coat. The petals begin to fall away. The ovaries swell and become the fruit, while the ovules become the seed. So the question is, where are these complex plants found? The answer is everywhere. They make up around 80% of all living plant species on Earth. The angiosperms dominate Earth's surface and vegetation in most environments, especially terrestrial habitats, more than any other group of plants. These plants produce fruit which feed humans and animals such as bananas and apricots. Oak and walnut trees are praised as fine hardwoods. Nuts and oils can also be used from these plants. However, they can also produce poisonous fruits that are detrimental to one's life. For example, elderberry. Most of an elderberry is poisonous, containing a cyanide. However, if harvested and cooked properly, it can be destroyed and be safe to consume.